this very intense energy of this eclipse. Now, many of you are in the community, so you've been getting information from planning with the planets. In other words, you knew that it was coming. Many of you knew that this energy was now, many of was coming. And so we've done our due diligence to prepare for it. Yes, some people have experienced it so differently. Some people have experienced this energy as sleepiness. Some people have experienced it as an attack on your body. You may see childhood issues coming up that you had already dealt with. And what I mean by that, to be specific, is you may have taken the workshop and thought that you completed it because the program is that I went to school, I got a good grade, and so I passed to the next class. And so when something shows up again to remediate you, I'm an educator. So this is education language. You all have heard of remedial learning or special education. The intensity of this particular energy started loading in. It loads in about 3 to sometimes even 6 months if it's a total eclipse before it even happens. It's like being pregnant, or it's like you as a woman who has a cycle. Most people focus on the menstrual cycle, the 1 week or 7 days or 3 days. But the truth is, as a woman, you're cycling all the time. One cycle gives birth to the other cycle. The center of the show is either the bleeding time or pregnancy. God, I hope you hear me today. So those of you who chose to show up this morning, those of you who are in the portal, I'm starting a new challenge. And the first thing that happens is physically, I get ill. I'm not 100% right now, but I'm speaking 100% into my life right now. I had my head hanging low literally 5 minutes before or 10 minutes before the prayer call, the earlier prayer call. My husband said, I don't care if it's 10 minutes, go lay down. How I'm showing up and talking and not coughing, I don't know. My schedule, I've been booked and busy, but not booked in the way that I prayed for it looking like a roster just full of coaching clients, because Spirit showed me, no, we're not doing it that way. And every time I finish one thing, I get asked to do another thing. I don't even have to go looking for it. And sometimes my yes comes from FOMO, FOMO. Had in the past, not now. It came from fear of missing out because I went so long without. Come on now, who am I talking to? Because I want you to hear what I'm saying. This is a season that we're called to be the shift. Be the shift. Now, on another level, we call that reality creators. The way that we affirm it is, I am the shift. When we talk about goddess technology, the performative version is I'm the. But can you be the shift? After you do the performative goddess, stepping into your juicy, can you be the shift? Because the whole world is shifting around us. And you are alive to see it. Now, some people will settle for just being alive to see it, to go along and get along. Some others are acting as performative gatekeepers. And some people, we can't tell. They sound like they're for us, but they're not like us. Your spiritual discernment has to be on in this season. You can't jump on bandwagons. And it's so amazing to see metaphysicians not know the tool of getting to the neutral place, where I'm not on your side, I'm not on your side, I'm on God's side, in me, as me, and through me. God in me, as me, and through me. Today, I had to be the living word and show up in the shift. I had to show up in the shift for somebody who didn't want to come on this morning. I had to show up in the shift for those of you who give up too easily. I had to show up in the shift for those of you who have your old childhood issue coping mechanism of fight or flight. So I had to show up in the shift so that I don't have to have the last word. The last word would have been, God, I'm tired. Let somebody else do it. I let somebody else do it so many times in my life because I didn't want the responsibility if I showed up, or the part of me that if I was afraid of messing it up. This eclipse season, spirit, before this, spirit has been on me, because you all know that some of you know that I have a free ebook called Shift Everything. And then I have a 21-day process called the Shift Everything process. And people listen to that. And some of you who've been through the Fab Factor, you get a taste of it. But it's 21 days of it. And during the season that was created, we were in a paradigm shift then. That's how come when you listen to it, it feels timeless. But Spirit said, you're not done with that ministry. Because this is a season where, what does it mean to be the shift? So many of us are focused on what we have or getting, that we aren't showing up in our being first. If I were to ask you, what do you desire right now? Most of you are going to say something around love, sex, or relationships and intimacy, or money. So let's just say, how much? How much? Because some of us get the money and it's not enough, or we don't know what to do with it because our consciousness hasn't caught up. How many of you went through the Fab Factor and you never touched the supplemental around positioning yourself to prosper for abundance? Because there's levels to this. The employee only thinks about the money that somebody else is going to give them in order to pay bills. Some of you are even thinking about retirement. The entrepreneur thinks about I eat whatever I hunt. Now that sounds primitive, but that's what's required. And really, it's not entrepreneurship, it's self-employment, because there's levels to even that. There's many of us are self-employed. We're not really entrepreneurs, because an entrepreneur has set up something that your money is making money for you while you're sleeping. We call it sleep coin. How many of you got a sleep coin? Now, that sleep coin doesn't have to be just when you work. For years, if I wasn't working as an entrepreneur, I thought I wasn't doing something right, because I still had the employee mind that I always had to be working, putting out, performative, because I had not set up systems that were passive, that did not need me. And many of you are the same way in other relationships, because money represents my own natural energy yield. So if you had 100,000 or 100 million, what would you do with it? We do a whole challenge by giving you increments to spend. By the time we get to 1 million, people start trying to figure out, what am I going to do with it? That's the same thing with people who have had lots of money. This is why if your soul is not right, and if you come and steal from lack consciousness, you see people get into lascivious activities, because now your money can buy anything. Not just one, you can have 2 or 3 in one night. And then after the sex is not sexing, then you want to get high. And so this is where you get sex, drugs, and rock and roll. So I ask you, how many of you prayed for a mate? And then when you get the mate, all you do is argue with them, pick them apart, emasculate them, compare them. You can't get along with the significant other. Your claws come out. Why? You prayed for this. How many of you wish you had a good Judy, a best friend, a road dog, a running buddy? But then when it doesn't work out, you say, well, I'm meant to be a lone ranger. Or I don't trust people like that. So you clutch on to your girlfriend the way you wish you could have clutched on to your mama. So you put on your girlfriend to be everything to you that you wish your mama would have been. And then if she doesn't step the way, oh my God, who am I talking to today? Because I don't even know how I even have a voice right now. I don't know right now, except for the heavy medication I'm on that's suppressing the cough, how I'm talking. I don't have any water around me, any coffee, any tea, because my morning been moving so fast, because I got to be the shift. Sometimes when you put these things in a Facebook post, people don't understand what you're even talking about. To be a reality creator means that I am able to see the vision even when it has not manifested. And it also means that sometimes I have to trust the process that I'm in and use my tools. And if you are getting readings and divination, then I got to do whatever came up on the mat, or I create the reality that my ego, because the ego has a vision too. The ego's job is to keep you safe. The ego is not the demon until it takes over your life when you have new options. The ego is a safety mechanism that is put in by your psychology to assist you in moments where there has been danger. The ego shows up, it eases God out. It says that I will show up when you are afraid. I will show up and take care of you when you feel guilty. I will show up to take care of you when you feel shame. The ego eases God out. And the product of the ego is fear, death, illness, shame, guilt, control. So who do you think is running our governments? Who do you think is sitting on one party and looking over at the other party and saying they're wrong, they're evil? I wish that I'm not crying over them. Da 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 da. Be the shift. Being the shift sometimes means that I have to see it before I believe it. You know how they say seeing is believing? Many of us have been believers for too long. And you haven't been taught how to be a knower. Oh my God. Come on, spirit. I didn't even come to teach. I didn't even know I had the strength to do this morning, but this has been stirring in my belly for weeks. And so now I could have laid down in my sick bed because Lord knows I'm medicated. I've meditated. But more than anything, I am dedicated. And so I say to you that when you look at something phonetically, to be a believer, you see the word lie in it. And many of us have been programmed to be a believer, a be liar, be lied to her. But when you are a knower, Noah knew something was coming and he built an ark. What ark are you building? It may look like family banking. It may look like investment in silver and gold and cryptocurrency before there is a shift in an announcement. Some of us are waiting on an announcement or waiting to panic. But can you see with your spiritual eyes like Noah saw and move? See, to be a knower means that I got to have a relationship with a thing. Do you have a relationship with your prayer language? Do you have a relationship with your altar? Do you have a relationship with your spiritual mentor? Do you have a relationship with the community that you've chosen to be in? Do you have a relationship? To know is even sexual intercourse. Can you be orgasmic in your relationship, or do you still have a fear-based theology that you only come to the God inside of you when you are afraid, when you're guilty, when your back is against the wall? That's an immature relationship with God. And we're in a season of shift. The planets are shifting all around us. And you're wondering what is happening. Why am I feeling like this? Why is my relationship boiling up? Because it's like a boil on your arm or on your skin or on your person that starts out as a little bump. And you look at it and your mama said, baby, you need to put something on that. And you put something on that, and then it starts to boil up. That's how things happen when we ignore them, when we don't deal with them, when we don't have a process. And then even after you put something on it and it starts to ooze out a little pus, it's ugly. We don't like it. But the elders used to say, baby, it needs some air. Don't keep covering it up. Ooh, who am I talking to? I'm not even playing the music yet. I'm just being the Rhema today. This is a Rhema word that I did not plan. In my mind, I had a whole new different thing. I was going to give you about 5 minutes of be the shift and just, put something in your pipe and let you smoke it through the day. But what's happening in my body? Sometimes the seer, the healer is carrying stuff from other people, but sometimes we're also carrying stuff from other lifetimes. Asthma has a message. I'm going to check the message a little deeper. I had to talk all day today. But I'm a knower. And the Spirit said, tell the people it's time to be the shift. At least those of you who have chosen to awaken in this season. You would not be on this call. You would not be watching this, even on your spare time. You would not. But you dull your own senses when you rush to go back to sleep or back to quote unquote normal. That normal has been over since 2020. You keep trying to get a world that no longer exists. It's dissolving right in front of us. But while it's dissolving, what is the new vision that you have for yourself? Because everything is shifting. So why not choose to shift everything? So today, I want to invite you to the 7-day journey to be the shift. Oh, I love it. I love that language. I choose. I choose. In fact, I want us to have a theme song. Thank you for that. Spirit is using you, Megan. India Ari has a song that says, I choose to be the best that I can be. I choose. Of course, I'm going to play it, but I'm broadcasting right now. Whew. I'm sweating, I'm vibrating right now so much that I want to stop. But those of us who are in the circle, though membership has its privileges, we get a chance to marinate. I know that some of you may be getting dressed, getting ready to go to work. I didn't intend to be this long this morning. We just came out of an equinox. Well, we're in the equinox. We're in the eclipse energy. This eclipse energy is going to last for the next 6 months. The way these planets are moving, the way it's hitting Saturn, the way it's hitting Pisces, it's the grandfather and the grandmother energy, the princess and the prince energy. It's masculine and feminine. Then these same planets are it's hidden Chiron. Chiron is the wounded healer. In other words, what I'm saying to you is you cannot escape the shift that is happening. The way that people are escaping it is that they are leaving here. This energy is dense. The veil is thin. We're getting ready to go into October, the month where the veil is thinner in terms of ancestral spirits and energy. We don't get a reprieve. This energy is going to last, honestly, for the next 20 years of radical shift. And we just got started. So this is not to make anybody afraid. It's to give you the tools to show up and show out, because you may be the cultural custodian in your bloodline to remember. You are the one that somebody in your bloodline prayed for. They called you forth for a time and a season such as this. You may need to be the one to speak atonement and not gossip in your family. You may be the one to introduce family banking, investments, strategy, land, family compounds, living abroad. That might require that you have to get healthy. mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. It may require that you have to become more disciplined. I like the word blissipin for those of you who do it in pleasure and not in fear. It may require that you have to have conversations, get therapy, ask for support. Yes, it may require your investment. In other words, if you haven't been parented, you may need to parent yourself with a coach, a therapist, a mentee, or a whole team of all of them. It may mean that you have to get the Reiki, the massage, the coach, the church, a progressive one, because it does no good to eat leftover food all the time spiritually. Leftover food is keeping on. Y'all see me go to church, but you don't see me going to anybody's church. You don't see me aligning with church energy because I am the church. I don't go to nobody's church looking for them to give me a word. I got a word. I'm looking for the word, or better, to come through the word that I already know, because I'm a knower. Looking for other knowers. So I pray that you too in this community are looking for other knowers. I will be either asking for support, because that's also a new thing for me when I don't have the team to do it, is to upload the Shift Everything challenge for the members to be and the members will get a special offering for that. And those of you who are not members in the portal and you want to be a part of the challenge and get all of the bonuses, you either can join the portal or pay the non-member fee, which is really just a love offering. And so my goal is to get that up today or tomorrow, so that by the time we finish this 7-day challenge, make sure you're subscribed on YouTube, that you can get this word. It will be much shorter, I promise you that. But in this moment, before we pray, it's important for you to pray. There's something that is necessary for you to shift. It could be a victim story. It could be a relationship with your children. You may have enabled your children. You may have been codependent. You who move fast, you may need to slow down and ask some questions, more questions, humble yourself, submit yourself. Yes, I'm saying it. Spiritual covering is a form of submission. I'm asking you to start the prayer today with the thing that's happening in your life. If all hell is breaking loose, let it break loose. Because sometimes the breakdown precedes the breakthrough. So I'm asking you, what is it? What is it that you need to shift today? Don't give me highlight reels. I need to surrender. Yeah, we all do. What do you need to surrender? Your children? Your marriage? What? Maybe it could be your mouth and how you show up and say certain things. Maybe it could be your arrogance because you're comfortable. You got a good job, you drive good, you live good. That can make you more unknowingly arrogant. You're shooting on somebody. You think somebody should help you, should see you, should choose you, should pick you. And you're so focused on that person, that place, that thing, and you're missing all of the ways that maybe they did or they have. Maybe it's not enough, so you do too much. What is it? I want you to call yourself out. See, if you call yourself out, you won't be so angry when other people or life does it, because Saturn energy will show you and discipline you out loud when you try to keep it quiet. So I invite you to be the shift in this 7 days. It's going to be broadcasted on the YouTube channel. I will come in Zoom if you'd like to come into the Zoom with me, just in case we have a little overflow. Thank you, Angelia, and anyone else who's answering the question. I thank you for those who are actually contemplating. See, in other words, you got to put something on the table. It got to mean something. What's your ouch? What's the feedback that you've gotten from somebody that you didn't like recently? So I'm asking you to answer that now.